I almost said you're now non.
Yeah.
Never mind. Teens. This is funny. This is from Yahoo Life. Yahoo. Of course, it's not like from. They say Yahoo Life, but it's taken from USA Today, or is that the Today Show by NBC? Teens, comma experts say free period products in school isn't woke. It's necessary. So as you pointed out, you can now attribute teens and experts as the same thing. Just like you would say, scientists agree or scientists and politicians agree. Teens are not adults. They don't know what the best thing is for them. It's not woke, you guys. First of all, one, you're a teenager, you don't know what you're talking about. But yes, it is. And you just want things for free. It's not free. It's not what it is. It's because you don't pay taxes. Rachel, who's 16. First of all, why are you printing this teenage girl's full name? You creepy, creepy weirdos. We need to know who this 16-year-old's full name is.
Can I say, though, in their defense, I will go a tiny bit devil's advocate. When I was young, probably younger than 16, I used to think, well, why would I have to buy my own toothbrush? I have to brush my teeth. The government should pay. I was a kid, though, and you just thought, you thought that they were supposed to provide things for you. It didn't matter. My mother was providing it, so it didn't, it's never come out of my pocket. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, when you're young, and you have no idea what you're talking about, you think that you feel like you are owed something, right? So they feel like they are owed, like they're going through this weird stage, and they're uncomfortable, and they're body's leaking or whatever.
That's very scientific of you. Your body's got a leak.
I've been on the Transformer beat a little too much also, and
these are regular girls, Eric.
I know the Reddit horror stories. So we started talking about the flesh pouch, and neither here nor there. My point is, when you are young and maybe you're feeling a little bit awkward, you kind of feel like you're about to be an adult, even though you're still 10 years away from that. If you're lucky in this day and age, they think they are owed something. So I'm just saying, I guess I can understand where a little kid is coming from, but these are all, kids also think, they're stupid. So
yes.
So I guess I'm making the point that you're making is that yes, they don't know what they're talking about, but I guess I'm sort of defending it because I remember being young and thinking that somebody owed me something. I was wrong.
The girl says it almost sounds like a drug deal is taking place with the code words and the different terms used that's supposed to make up for the stigma. Says there's no stigma. This is high school students thinking that they can't talk about having a period. This doesn't make any sense. Only 15 states in Washington, D.C. Let's write an article and come from the angle of a 15-year-old girl as to why the government should pay for something. Or 16. Let's listen to a 16-year-old as to why the government should pay for something. Recently, Republican lawmakers in Idaho blocked a bill that would have made Idaho the 16th state to mandate school provide period products to students. You know what the
framing there too.
You know what the real thing is here, but I'll get to it. Representative Barbara Earhart took issue with the terms period poverty and menstrual equity used to describe the inability to access period products. If your parents are too poor, it's not the rest of the world. It's going to sound harsh, but it's not the rest of the world's fault that your parents are too poor to buy you tampons. So therefore, it doesn't rely on the other taxpayers to pay this for you. Your parents need to get a job, and they need to get a job before they have kids and understand how much money it costs to have kids so that they can provide for you. If you're going to school and your parents can't give you period poverty products, then the school needs to call the parents and be like, listen, why aren't you doing this? And why can't you take care of your kids? Or the police, somebody needs to get involved. You can't just say that a parent just gets to be shit and then everybody else has to pay for it. That's what the lesson is here.
Absolutely. But yes, you 100% correct. And it sounds super mean, if your parents are deadbeats or whatever. But besides that, I would like to discuss the framing here a little. Can you go up just a little bit? It's Republicans block. First of all, they say only 15 states. It's so 15 states are kind of, they're turning into these weird commie centrals, where only 15 are handing out free stuff to teenage girls, and then Republican lawmakers blocked the bill. Like, okay, I'm putting a little bit on it. Like, I don't know whose voice that is, but it's very clear the angle that they're coming from. Only 15 states. Why not? Why not just 15? Why not as many?
Because it should be all states, Eric.
It should be all. And the Republican law. Look, nobody likes Republicans. We've been through this. Nobody. I mean, nobody likes Republicans, okay? Some people like Donald Trump, some people like certain politicians, but I think you'd be very hard-pressed to find, and this is what I think the left gets wrong, the establishment zombie left. They think that, quote-unquote, Republicans, like, nobody likes the Republican establishment, bro. Obviously, the left doesn't like it. Common-sense conservatives don't like them, but the media still wants to try to sell it to their weirdo consumers who are still buying this, that Republicans are so mean, and they're the reason why these only 15 states have free period stuff for little girls. And it's like, why can't you guys just act normal for once? Like,
Can't focus on non-creepy things. And what I think this is, the real reason for this is because they want to put it in boys' bathrooms too. This is what they do here in universities. The University of Toronto has it. Multiple universities have it, where they put period supplies, we'll call them, in men's bathrooms too, because this is all about, hammering home the notion that transgender women are real women, and therefore, and men can be real women, therefore it should be available to them. That's what this is about, in my opinion, because they're not just going to say, oh, it's only for the women's bathrooms. What are you, a bigot? You have to put it in all the bathrooms as well, because not everyone who has a period identifies as a woman. So that's what it'll be. It's always these incremental steps that they go to achieve their end goal of, destroying everything. And here they say, I have multiple friends who've had experiences where they're taking a test and all of a sudden they get their period and they're actually without supplies or resources. If you guys know any adult women, this happens to adults all the time because they can't just, know the exact minute it's going to happen and just be waiting there with their hand or whatever. That just means they forgot to bring one. Like, that's all that means, isn't it? They're totally without any supplies or resources. Like, should they be in the bathrooms? Like, okay, maybe. But, like, this whole, like, argument that it's the government's job, which is what these children don't understand. They think it's just, I'm a kid, you should be taking care of me. But...
And somebody should be taking care of them, their parents.
If the parents want it, they should go to their school board and take it out of the budget. It shouldn't be up to like this federal government or the state government to make this sweeping law that you have to require it. The problem is a lot of schools suck these days. A lot of schools suck, and in a lot of places, like in Canada here, you don't have a choice of where to send your kid for the most part unless you want to go to a private school. Public school, they zone it by where you live. And if your school sucks, then your school sucks. It's just like a lot of places in the States, and you can't do anything about it. It's up to the parents to get together or for you to move or something. They want to be taken care of for some reason. I don't get it. I know people who want it, but the level in which your government wants to take care of you is also the same level of things that they can take away from you whenever they want.
But can we also talk about this paragraph about how they... go up just a little bit. The one you just read. Yeah, okay. I've had multiple friends. So... This is them working their way towards their ever-popular life and death argument with everything. Didn't wear a mask, life and death. Didn't get the shot, life and death. Didn't let the little boy chop his junk off, life and death. If you wanted to drive a truck, then the sun monster was coming, life and death. So this is
the what monster?
The sun monster.
The sun monster?
Yeah, the climate change monster.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a vampire thing. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is Dracula now, you guys. Weren't you waiting for that?
Oh, yeah, what is this?
Nicolas Cage is Dracula, and he's got employees and shit. Because he's an actor in movies. I don't know.
Whatever. My point is, they can't really get all the way to we're going to die if you don't do this, but that's what they're working up towards. And you see the next sentence, it really detracts from learning. So that's the next best thing to just saying it's going to be a genocide or people are going to die. It's like, look how bad our learn because you didn't give us a free period or free period products and now I can't learn. And that's the next best thing, right? So no matter what happens, you're always going to be the bad guy. And if daddy government and people, dude, they've been so tricked. They've been so manipulated into really believing that the government actually cares about them. Think about all the black people in San Francisco like, oh yeah, we're going to get $5 million. Are you stupid? They're not going to give you anything.
They might. I say do it. Give the reparations. Collapse the system. Let anybody who lives in San Francisco come in if they're black. Give them the money. It's also like you get a certain amount of money for 100 years, I think it is, or something like that. Longer. Was it? And then you get to buy a house for $1 was another thing. Like, I'd love to know who's going to build these houses. So not only are you going to give people how many million? 5 million?
I think it was 5 million. Wait, hold on. But before we didn't remember, it was like 260. Fact check this. It started at 260, which you think, okay, 260,000 for doing nothing seems fair. And then like, no, actually, we need 360. Okay, all right, sounds fair. Then it went up to, they just jumped from 360,000 to 5 million. And then there was the clip. I don't know if you saw it. There's a viral clip of another guy who said 5 million is not enough. We need 6.7. So the extra 1.5 million or whatever on top of the 5. That is now you're talking. Now I can feel better.
A nice signing bonus. So you get all that money per person. I worked this out a while ago. I forget how many black people there are in San Francisco. It ends up costing you a couple $1 trillion. But then you have to build these houses for free, and the government has to pay the construction company. Because whether or not you're buying a home that exists, that is valuing the home at zero. So the money that would have been made has to come from somewhere, I feel like. I don't know. Is that how it would work? If you have a house that's already on the market, like, how would that house become owned by nobody to the point where you can sell it for $1? The government would have to pay the value of it. So now you're also paying the value of like $1 million home per person as well. Or
you just tell Whitey that they can't live there.
There's a great quote in the movie Black Sheep by Chris Farley. It says, "Kill Whitey."
I don't think you could say that.
He was onto something. I meant white chocolate. Who likes white chocolate? And I'm not talking about Jason Williams, the basketball player.
No, well, I don't like the actual. That stuff's nasty.
Yeah, me either. He's no Aaron Williams, the guy who killed his limo driver. Jason Williams. No, there's Jason Williams, the point guard. Then there's Jason Williams, the center, who shot his driver.
He didn't die, though. I think he just shot him. Well, now we've gotten completely off track.
You know who did die? Steve McNair, former quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, got shot by his wife in a very similar reclining chair to what you're in right now, by his wife for cheating on him.
What?
uopod.com. Subscribe on whichever platform you're watching. Go to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. If you're watching on there, subscribe. And if you're listening on audio, please leave us a review on there. Spotify is where most people are listening, but also on some app I've never heard of that I sent you. I didn't remember what that one was called.
No, not iHeartRadio?
No, there was some other like all-encompassing podcast app. Neither here nor there. Please subscribe, and we will see you next time.